Is this called? This is for 10C adventure game. I'm here with Caleb. Caleb, say hi.
Hi, it's me, Caleb.
All right, we're gonna get into it. So basically, how we set up this adventure game, as you can see, is we started with a menu function. This menu function is like very simple, or this menu class is very simple. It has a print menu, create menu, main menu. Basically, menus to display the actual menu itself, and then menus to go into like a new menu for like a new object, like this, right? You select one of these, and then it goes to another one. So that's what this is for. It's really simple. You could have done it in main, but I kind of liked the way this worked. So to get into it, so first we start off in where is it? So first we start off in this main menu here. So you do main.cpp, right? And it just creates a menu object, and then menu.load. Very simple. Goes into the menu, and then you make your selection, right? If you select the create menu, then it will go to the create menu, right? This is also kind of like the toggle between build mode and like non-build mode, right? Because you could also choose to play instead. And so that's what you do. You'd go, but we don't have that implemented, unfortunately. We didn't have time. But if we go into the print menu, or sorry, you print the menu, right? It displays this. And then you go into the create menu main, right? Which goes into this part, right? And it basically gives you the option of, do you want to load a map or do you want to start a new map? If you don't have a map to load, then you can't start a new map, unfortunately, or they can't load a new map. Right. So then that brings you into another selection, right? Basically, if you want to start a new map, if you want to load a map, that's why you have 1, 2 here. Then when you go into this create menu, right? This is what the create menu looks like. I just used some cool characters to make that. We start the create menu here. It first basically checks if the user chose the load a map menu or thing or the start a map thing, right? If they choose the load a map, it goes all the way down to the load map function that's all the way down to the very bottom of the program. It's right here, right? How this works is we grab the map, like we have a map function. Actually, I can show you that too. We created this map of rooms, right? And it's basically the current map, every single room that's in the map. It's like a dictionary. If you're familiar with those, which you are. And so when we load this map, we're basically grabbing. First we're looking for the name, right? We're asking, hey, do you want, what map would you like to load? You ask for it, right? You get it, and then it'll start reading the map, right? And so that's what this is for. So it'll keep on going line by line. And the map function, I'll show you that here in a little bit. Until we get to this end here, right? And then once we hit the end, then that means it's the end of that. So what it does first is it first loads in all of the rooms. So that's why we have this while going in here. And all it does is it grabs the name, grabs a description, and then it creates a new room with that, puts it in the map, right? Then what that does afterwards, right, is now we go into this while loop, right? And it does the same thing, except after this part, the rooms part, is we have the connections part. And so all it does is, again, it loads in the first room, right, and the second room, and it connects them. Where is it? Using direction, and then it connects the room here, right, for both rooms. So this is like the room 1 connection, and this is the room 2 connection, or the door 2 connection from each room, and then it connects the rooms. Using the map. Then it goes all the way back. And these Prada things are just for Pragma thing, sorry, is just like for collapsing.
It's just so that it just. Oh, is that what fucking? I was pretty sure Pragma was so that it doesn't reload headers that were already like IO stream and stuff like that that's already been used
Actually,
beforehand.
these are like, so Pragma is kind of like a default thing for like, oh, something happened. So then this Pragma specifically is a region thing, and so like you can collapse regions together, or see, like below this region there's an end region, Pragma end region, and then
Why
that's
do I
how
use
this works.
Pragma once? Anyways, we're getting sidetracked.
Yeah,
Pragma
sorry.
anyways.
Okay. Yeah, so it goes through that, right, and then it creates it, or otherwise it will create a new room just randomly, which basically creates a new map, right? And then it'll do its thing. It asks for the, like, it tells you what your current room you're in, and then it, like, you put in your, like, whatever you kind of chose in the map. And then it goes to the selections, in which if you go to quit, then it saves it, and the save function is at the bottom of this Pragma here, and above this load, right here. And how this works is it first asks you, because if you don't want to save, then it can be annoying if you don't have that ability. It returns if you don't want to save it. But if you do want to save it, it asks you about the map name. Then it takes that map name, puts it .txt after it, and then creates the file, right? Then it writes to the file, right, and it puts in the name and descriptions of all the rooms, right? And so it's working backwards from the load function, basically, right? So it puts in the name descriptions from the rooms, and then it'll start doing the connections too. And that's what this is doing right here. It's writing to the connections to the room. And then it'll make a new line, put an end here, and at the end of this section, right? So it knows when to stop. And then it'll give the user an input to save it. And that's the save function. Caleb, you want to get into the rest?
Yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah. So then, what file are we at now? I'm trying to follow through the stream, but like it's kind of hard. CPP. Yeah. So then our switch statement for the selection for which room is how we traverse through the rooms. So if we choose north, we go north, south, east, west, etc. Oh yeah, I see. Yeah, these are our options from the big help window. Sorry, I remember now. Yeah. So then the actual crux of it is afterwards. The L, we do our that's how we call our actual load of the description of the map of the room. So it'll print our room name, room description. We were going to do objects. It would print any objects in the room and stuff like that. We didn't actually get to that. X obviously exits the current room. If we were to want to connect another room that we've made, we would use the C And we have to. It's an important note. It's in the comments, but obviously we already have to we have to create the room before we can actually connect our room to that other room. So it's important that we have to like add a room before we can connect the room. Beyond that, if we want to rename our current room, we can use R. That's super simple. Obviously, we're just changing the name of our current room. A, obviously we went over earlier, but it's adding a new room to the actual game. And then once we add the room, we can then connect the room. Like I said, J was actually implemented so we can jump. It allows the developer to jump to any room at any time. This can be helpful during the creation process as we need to be in rooms to connect rooms. And then finally, Q is our quick command. And then side question, Andrew, did we actually do? We had to talk about this. Did we actually do the question mark command?
Yeah, it just
That's what we're just
in
doing.
the Xylabs it says it's used just to display the room or the menu again, so that's kind of what it does now. But yeah, that's what that
Okay,
does.
yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. So it's just the menu we're giving anyways. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then
I remember now.
each of them have their
And
own
together with
individual.
all those commands, we should have the commands I just mentioned is the actual adventure builder, and then the actual commands call the back end that you mentioned, and
Mm-hmm.
then together this is our adventure builder game. It works up to most of the extra credit, not all of it, but most of it. We didn't do
Mm-hmm.
objects, mobiles, or was there something else we didn't do? There was something else we didn't implement, but we thought about. But yeah.
Yeah. An important note is when we get our selection is because we're grabbing it as a string here. We then have to convert it from a string into a character, right?
Char. Mm-hmm.
And then we have each of the work in the rooms themselves here. This is the get selection one that turns into a char. Add room
Oh,
function.
right. I did not mention that.
Do you want to
So
go over
true.
this stuff?
The actual implementation of it. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done. The add room function. So basic, we declare variables. We create a new room object using the default constructor, and we then fill out the information from there based off of what the developer wants to do. So we ask for a name for the room. We ask for um, sorry, the description of the room. I'm blind. We set the name. We set the description. And then once we've done that, we can then add the room to our map to make sure that the developer knows that we've done it. We count room added, so we just print that to the terminal. And then then we have a new room that we can then connect to other rooms.
Yep.
Our jump to room.
An important distinction too for this add room is that it's not meant. It's not once it's created, it's not automatically like connected to another room. So, the add room is kind of just like in the void, and so you have to jump to it in order to connect to it, which is the only kind of downfall of like the way we kind of did this. But
Oh, that is an important note. Okay, that makes sense. I actually didn't necessarily realize that. Why is that again?
the ad room, it connects it when we make it. We're just making it, right, and it goes into our map. So in our list of rooms, and then we can just connect to it, and then connect that room to other rooms. So we don't have to connect it to the current room right away. This jump to room
Okay.
will this is the extra credit. Basically, we jump to a room, right? We ask the user for, okay, what room do you want to jump to? We get the line, and then we just find the room within the map using this rooms.end. Basically, like when it gets to like the end of the map, then it knows, hey, we did not find this room, or if it does found it, then we'll like jump to the actual room. And that's what we're doing here is we're setting the current room to this. And it's important to note that, where is it? That this is using the and thing, so we are passing the address for current room and for rooms. So when we make changes to this here, then it will also make changes here.
Passing by reference.
Yeah, so it's more, so we're passing by reference is more kind of important for the current room itself, though.
Oh boy, the change description method. Super easy. We update the description of the room.
Perfect. It does go into this set description, which does like goes to like the set description thing, which is kind of self-explanatory. We'll get to it though. Rename, kind of what Caleb was saying, like the set description room.
Yeah,
It will also set the name.
Room name. Yeah. This one was actually an important one. So we prompt the user for the room we want to connect it to. Then we have to assert that the room actually exists. So we look through our rooms. If we find it, we actually do stuff. Otherwise, we say room not found. Assuming we find it, we wait, what is it? Oh yeah, the condition of if it being connected to the void. No, that makes sense. Yeah, can't connect with the room with the void. And then otherwise, if the actual room exists and it's not the void, then we actually connect it to our current room. And that's how we can add a room and then connect it to our current room after we teleport.
This is very self-explanatory. This is a function that's specifically made to print the exits of a specific room that's being given, right? So I'll send in like the current room, and then it'll say available exits to choose from, and then it'll give this exit, this exit, this exit if it exists, this exit if it exists, right? And then this nice line just to be like, hey, you finished doing this. And this is the print exits. So this is like, so the difference is this prints empty exits, meaning exits that rooms aren't connected to, where this one prints like the exits that rooms are connected to. This will get the door. So it's used for when we're trying to get the door of like a specific room, right? So basically it grabs the user input for like, hey, do you want to connect a room to the north, south, east, west, right? And when it actually connects rooms, this is specifically saying like, hey, they can either choose N or north, they can say, and then actually connect the rooms that way. This is just saying, it's just looking for one of those two options before it continues. And then once it does it, it just returns south or whatever, and then the connection thing can go through there. This is just purely for like, just so the user has to press enter. It's kind of like a very small function and everything. And then find other exits. This is for like this is, oh yeah, this is the this is basically checking like what exits there are for a room. This is different from the other one that just prints it. So the other one that prints it is like what is it just displays what you can do, and then this actually gives you what you can do, right? And this is specifically for what exits are in another room, I think, actually.
Well, so it checks to see if there's an exit that way, north, and if it is, it tells us north. So what it's doing is it's telling us where the exit is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it for that. So that's that. Now we can get into actually running the code, which is the fun part.
Showing that it works, so that he's like perfect, 100%. I hope, bro.
Right.
I hope.
So here, like I said before, we can either play or create. We can't play it because it's
Create,
not
create.
implemented, or we can quit. So we're gonna create. All right, and then this is like the
Start a new
help
map.
menu, right? So then we can be like, okay, I want to start a new map, right? We have this. What's the way we made this? Is we have like our current room here, so we can see, just keep reference of what room we're in. I can press X to see if there's any rooms connected. Of course, we did see that there's no rooms found. It prints a new map whenever we go through one of these. So if I want to make a new room, I can just go A, and I can make a room called like Andrew, right? And then Andrew's room, right? Press enter, creates a new one. It says, hey, okay. It says, it basically says the room was added, so we know that the room was added.
Yes.
We're in void. Now I can go and I can just jump to that room, right? So I'll just press J and I'll go Andrew, and then now I'm here. Now it says right here, current room Andrew, and I can press L to see, hey, room name Andrew, room description Andrew's room, looking good, right? Prints a new menu. Now we have to make a new one, so we're gonna have to make we're gonna create a room called Caleb, and it's gonna be
yep, that's my
Caleb's room. And then I can press X again just to show, hey, it's not connected to anything, because it puts it into the void, right? But I can connect it by pressing C, and then I can just say the name of it, right? So room Caleb, right? And which one, in the current room, what door do you want to connect the new room to, right? So if I want to go connect to the north, I can press N, or I can press north, right? So I press north, and then I want to do like south, let's say. Come south, connected to the room Caleb, right? In the south, right? So then now I'm currently still in room Andrew, right? And if I want to look at the current rooms that are connected, I can press X. It says, oh, there's a room named Caleb, right? Let's say I have another one, and I want to create another room, and I call it Andy, right? Room, right? And then I want to connect this room to, the room you want to connect it to is Andy, right? And then see how it changes now. That was that one function that displays current exits that are not occupied. So I will choose this. So I'll go, I want to make this in the west room, right? So I will press W, because I want to make it in the west. And then this one, I will put east, because I want to make this one in the east part. And this is the other room. See how notice how this grabs the room that we're connecting. So connected to room Andy, right? We're still in room Andrew. Press X. Hey, we can go north to Caleb or west to Andy, right? So if I want to go north to Caleb, right? I'm in now room Caleb. It shows right here, Caleb, right? I can look at the description. Caleb. I can rename Caleb to enter the name of the new room. We're gonna say Tom. Right. Nice. Perfect. Now if I press L, Tom is the new room name, and we have Caleb's room still because we haven't changed that. If I want to change the description, I just go D, and I can say Tom's room. Right. Now if I go X again, oops, sorry. I go L again, then room name Tom, room description Tom, right? If I want to, I'll just connect this room to Andy. And I'll connect it to the north. And do you want to connect into the south? So we got a weird little thing going on, right? Press X. Hey, I can go that way or that way. So then if I go south, right, press X again, I can go west to Andy, right? Now let's go west, right? If I go X again, now I can go south to Tom, right? So pretty cool. That works. What am I missing? We did that, we did that, we did that. East. Okay, perfect. So now I can just go and I can press quit. Right, would you like to save the map? Yes, I want to save it. I want to do new map. That's what I'm going to call it. All right. So now we're back in the main menu, right? And I'm like, okay, well, I want to load a map now, right? In fact, actually, I'll go all the way out so you can see that it's not. As you can see, the new map was made here. This is what it looks like. You have the name and the description. It's a little buggy, but not bad. You have that.
Now you show that we can load it.
Now we're going to go back, restart the program again, just to prove that we can load it. Sorry, this is already at 26 minutes. That's cringe.
We've been doing this for 26 minutes? Oh my god.
Okay, so we're going to go. Okay, wait. No, we can't because it doesn't work. So we're going to create. We're going to go load a map. And then would you like to load a map? I'm going to say new map. Fuck me.
Did we have to do new map.txt? I think
Yeah.
we did, right? Or did you? Yeah.
New map. Okay.
It's broken. We have to rerun. Oh no. Okay. Even if you get just partial credit on the load fucking save, honestly. So like, it was just working, was it not?
One will create. To load new map.
Okay.
And loading
well,
void.
function.
Oh, it's because void is annoying. Yes, sorry. Create. So the problem is I go to new map. It doesn't like the void.
Oh, because you can't connect to the void.
We'll just leave it.
Yeah.
So we'll create load map. What map would you like to load? New map.
Well, it's an issue with memory. What do we do?
I'm annoyed.
I mean, it's okay. This video is already 30 minutes long, though.